Now, this happened because they were overbilling for unnecessary services. Again, not a surprise, happens all the time. Spent 3 days in the hospital for something that he really didn't need. That had a huge repercussion for an 85-year-old man. Now, this calls for a change. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first episode of Mindful Body News, and today we're going to be speaking about the U.S. healthcare scam and why people are turning to integrative medicine and alternative health. You must be a dedicated health professional or entrepreneur striving to make a difference in the medical field. But the US healthcare system seems to hinder people more than it is helping them. I'm sure you've invested in conventional medicines and you've tried the conventional path, and through that path you discovered that the conventional way of healing isn't really getting to the root cause. And at that stage, you might have decided, I want better for my patients. I became a health professional to help people heal and not allowing your patients to get stagnant like it happens in today's conventional medical field. Now, this calls for a change. It's time to move towards an integrative approach that really addresses the patient's needs. Now, marketing integrative and alternative medicine requires overcoming the stigma and reputation that is provided by mainstream healthcare. So in this video, we'll discuss how to build your credibility so you can build more trust with your patients. Now, this topic is very near and dear to my heart because I've been walking on the health path for over a decade now, and I've seen how conventional medicine has really made people suffer. Of course, I'm not saying that all conventional medicine is bad. Nonetheless, a lot of times it's doing more harm than good. It's putting a band-aid over something that is screaming for help. And it gets to a point where the person just collapses in sickness. And the first thing that is addressed is surgery. Now, for example, my grandfather recently, 85-year-old man, was put under to go into surgery that he didn't really need. He spent 3 days in the hospital prepping for the surgery, and then they put him under and then cut him open and said, oh, it looks like you don't need the surgery, stitched him back up, and then sent him on his way. That had a huge repercussion for an 85-year-old man that needs to go about his life. Similarly, my sister, she had a natural birth. When she became pregnant, she decided, well, I want to take the holistic route. I'm going to trust my body, which is, of course, as you know, the first step in healing yourself is trusting your innate ability to heal. And she went to a doula that is one of my previous clients, and she started working with her. People don't even know that they can trust their own body's ability to heal and give birth and do all of these things given the right conditions, given the right mindset, right? Because we're not taught these things. As a conscious entrepreneur, striving to build a digital marketing agency that is working in the favor of a holistic approach, I created this Mindful Body News channel to speak on these topics. Now, in this video, we're going to cover, first and foremost, the flaw in the conventional U.S. healthcare system. We're going to highlight a recent scandal that happened and look at the impact that it had on patients' trust and satisfaction. We're also going to talk about the rise and the benefit of integrative and alternative medicine. And I am, for that section, going to interview a client of mine. She is a legend. I'm absolutely honored to work with her. She is a pioneer in the integrative medical space, Dr. Pati, who is on the board of A4M and also speaks in large conferences, trains doctors all over the world so that they can take an integrative approach to medicine, and has impacted over 15,000 plus patients and people all across the United States and the world and help them adopt this method. So we are going to highlight her story, and she's going to share how she got her success and why she does what she does. And she actually started on the conventional medical path and ended up in integrative holistic medicine. And lastly, I'm going to share how you can enhance your brand so that you can attract more patients to your holistic practice. Make sure to watch this video until the end, because we can talk about this all day long and share our passion and share our drive, but without actionable steps to building a strong, credible online presence with effective marketing strategies that really support your healthcare practice, then without that, it leaves you with nothing actionable that you could do to help you get further faster. All right, let's dive in. We are going to identify the issue in the U.S. healthcare medical system. The Justice Department charges nearly 200 people in a $2.7 billion healthcare fraud scheme. So this is, this isn't news that happened a month ago, right? This happens all the time. It happens, not just yesterday, not just tomorrow, not just today. It always happens where people go to the doctor, they get unnecessary work done, they get pushed to do surgery or radical treatments. Again, not saying that conventional medicine is evil, there's a time and a place, but this happens more than it should. Here, over 200 doctors, nurse practitioners, and other people in this medical space were charged for $2.7 billion fraud scheme. Now, this happened because they were overbilling for unnecessary services. Again, not a surprise, happens all the time. This has a huge impact for patients' trust and the overall healthcare system and credibility. I've been in the health and wellness space for over a decade now, and I've spoken to people in all walks of life that start on the conventional medical path or try the conventional medical path, and they end up in the holistic space because they exhausted their options. They spoke to every doctor out there that said they could probably help them and found no hope, no resolution, no relief for their pain, for their issues. Now, after doctors basically leaving them hopeless and saying you can't do anything about it, they turned to a holistic way. And guess what? They were able to do it through ancient healing, ancient ancestral healing that has been with us for thousands and thousands of years. Shamanic healing, Vedic healing, all of these things, right? It just blows my mind how we choose to close ourselves off to things that have worked for generations. So where does this leave patients? This leaves patients feeling that their needs are not being met. They don't have a personalized care and attention, and this over-reliance on pharmaceuticals and invasive procedures is exhausting. We all know that antibiotics hinder our gut microbiome, which is directly linked to our immunity. So what are we doing? So just like this story, this happens all the time. It's causing patients to feel like they need to look in another direction. What direction is that? That direction is towards you. Now, for this section, I'm going to introduce Dr. Pati, a pioneer in the integrative medical space, and she is going to share with us how she ended up there, why does she prefer this method of healing, and what attests the success in her building a few successful companies that have touched the lives of thousands of people and hundreds of doctors across the U.S. Without further ado, I'd love to introduce Dr. Sangeeta Pati. Hey, Dr. Pati, thank you so much for joining. I'm very excited to have you today.
I'm so excited to be here with you. It's wonderful. Thank you.
Yes, of course. I'm so eager and excited to interview you because you truly are an inspiration to me and I know to many others. And I'm just so thrilled that we get to work together and help impact people and for better health, right? So I'd love to learn a little more and, of course, sharing with our viewers how you ended up in the integrative medical space.
Oh, that's a good one. Actually, I think that everybody, even non-physicians and non-health practitioners, automatically are geared towards what I consider natural sort of solutions for things. If you think about how we're actually wired, first of all, we have all the gifts at birth, but second of all, if we have a sore throat, we do the ginger gargle. If we have, a headache, we may use some ice. Like there's certain things that we grow up with that become the foundation. And all of us come from ancient cultures. So that was always a foundation for me, being from the Indian cultural background, that we would be using something first. And actually very rarely going to any medical profession because, the body mostly heals itself with a little bit of help, right? But as a profession, I had my formal education at University of Maryland at Georgetown and did a residency as an OBGYN, got out into the world and started doing my pharmacy, my surgery, delivering babies, having an absolutely wonderful time, and really learning how to help people the best way possible.
Amazing. Yeah, I absolutely love your answer. As far as the impact that you've made with all of these hundreds of doctors across the US and your thousands of patients as well, can you share with our viewers, like, what would you attest your success to?
The most important part of this is that, you know how people talk about build it and they will come? So the fact is that people are looking for these kind of solutions. That's a fact. And after the COVID and pandemic era, even more so. And the interesting thing is that the studies are finding that younger generations, Gen Z and millennials, are very motivated to look at holistic, do it yourself approaches to restore the body's natural innate healing. So all of a sudden, you have a population of people that are looking for you. If you are there and you are providing something that works and you help people get in the driver's seat, that spreads like wildfire. And most of the physicians that we've worked with, frankly, have become our patients because as a whole group, physicians, healthcare practitioners on the whole, we're like falling apart as a professional group, if you will. Like the physician burnout rate, the physician suicide rate, people just dropping like flies right and left. It's really important to realize that when it comes down to your own health and you start seeking solutions outside of the conventional medical system, that so are your patients. So to answer your question about the success, I think people are looking for you. And if you have something simple and you're able to give hope and inspire people to take tools and get in the driver's seat, that spreads. The word spreads. And I think there's one more thing I forgot. I got to add it, which is passion. I have so much love and so much passion for these patients and for these doctors and anybody who reaches out that I can help at any time in any way. It's such an honor and such a real blessing to feel like you're in a spot where you can actually make a difference for somebody. So I think that passion is also something which people get drawn to.
Thank you so much, Dr. Patti. We are so happy to have had you and heard your story. Now, I hope this was just as inspiring for you as it has been for me. Now, in this last section, we are going to talk about how to help your brand stand out so you can attract more patients into your practice. Attract these patients that are feeling lost, that are feeling hopeless, that are feeling a need to try something different that's going to help them heal and feel vibrant and feel at their best. Now, the first thing that I always tell my clients when they are coming on board and wanting my marketing services is we need to properly position you and position your brand. You, as a healthcare practitioner, need to really stand out. A lot of these people are leaving an industry because they've been mistreated in some way, shape, or form. And now they're going into an industry that they're skeptical about, that they think that people are selling snake oil. Now, of course, that does exist in the health and wellness space. I've experienced it firsthand, so it's good to always do your due diligence, especially if someone doesn't feel trusting towards someone. And this is a method that you can use so people can feel more trust. People don't know you. For someone to go to you and say, yes, doctor, yes, specialist, I'd love to see you and book a consultation and work with you to help me heal, they need to know you, they need to like you, and they need to trust you. Without any of these things, you're not going to get very far. So, positioning yourself by clearly defining the benefit that you provide is crucial. It's literally the first step. Before pouring any marketing dollars into Facebook ads, Google ads, YouTube ads, tons and tons of content, you need to be properly positioned. Otherwise, you're going to be spending a lot of money in places that aren't going to bring you that ROI or that return that you need. What does clearly defining what you do for someone mean? It doesn't just mean jargon and medical terms. You're a specialist, so you know how to communicate in a way that another doctor or another specialist is going to understand. Now, people that are, just embarking on their health journey, they don't understand the jargon that you are speaking. So, meet people where you're at. You want to share your story. Share how you got to where you're going. Be authentic, be genuine. Don't put yourself on a pedestal and make people think that you've always been this specialist and this expert your entire life. We all have a past, we all have a story. We all get to the place that we are because of a past that allowed us and helped us get there. So share that story, share the benefits, share how you felt, share how your patients feel after working with you. You also want to make sure that you build credibility. Share where you went to school, where you've studied, who you've helped. Highlight all of the credibility points that can help someone really see you, really understand you. If you were interviewed in all of these podcasts or news stations, or you wrote a book, share that on your website, share that on your content strategy so that people can understand what you've done. As I mentioned previously, you want to highlight your success stories, not just by written testimonials, but encourage your past patients to do audio testimonials or video testimonials. You can hire a production team or use some apps that are specially designed to collect video and audio testimonials really easily and quickly on your past patients or clients' phones. So you want to be able to highlight these success stories, because if someone's skeptical and thinking that I don't want this person to just be selling me snake oil, you need to make sure that you can highlight your previous patient success. And lastly, you want to get your voice out there like the authority that you are. Speak in public events, create content, get interviewed, and just continue overall sharing your method with people. Talk about specifically what method you use as a practitioner or a healthcare provider that has helped people heal. Another patient of mine, he's a chiropractor and nutritionist, and his method is health equals nutrition plus exercise plus spine. This is his method. Now, what is your method? Make sure to craft all of these details. If you'd love more tips on how to get your brand out there and how to build your credibility and position yourself, make sure to watch our previous videos. Also, we're accepting applications for discovery calls so that we can see if we can support you in reaching more people. We definitely want to work with other change makers like our current clients, like Dr. Pati, because we know that we can really make a difference when we work together. Now, if you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. Please share it with your colleagues and with your friends so that more people can learn about how this evolving landscape is impacting consumers and how it's impacting public health. Thank you so much for watching.